That woman will always be in my heart. Because she'll always be in my heart, everything about her will always be stuck with me. I would have done it again. I might have done it differently, but I would have done it again.
The Greene County Sheriff has new information about a mother found murdered at her home and her missing daughter.
It was a crime that captivated the country.
Gypsy Blanchard and her boyfriend, Nicholas Gojon, are now jailed in Wisconsin on first-degree murder.
This case took many strange twists. Everything that we seemed to uncover turned out to be a lie.
This wasn't just a murder. This was a con.
She was under the thumb of her mother. She was a victim of hideous Munchausen by proxy abuse.
Authorities say Gypsy can walk without a wheelchair, and they discovered several birth dates that make her between 19 and 23 years old.
Gypsy didn't know that she wasn't actually sick. It wasn't until after she was arrested that she learned that she was actually healthy. This case is about manipulation. It's about deceit. It's also a case about love.
The stars aligned somehow that these two individuals found each other.
It wasn't just boyfriend, girlfriend. It wasn't just, I'm attracted to you, I like talking to you. It was a very deep, intimate relationship.
Gypsy really pulled at Nicholas's heartstrings. She wanted his sympathy. She wanted him to know just how much she was suffering and how much she needed him to save her.
Okay, I'll admit it. I did actually stab her mom. I will admit it.
Did Gypsy know that you were going to kill her mother?
Honestly, she asked me to.
Since the moment she was arrested, Gypsy Blanchard has seized the media spotlight.
Did you help Nicholas kill your mom?
No, sir.
Alarm bells start going off at that point. Something's not right.
Now, 4 years after this infamous case mesmerized the nation, the man at the center of its deadly romance tells his side of the story.
Due to all the publicity Gypsy's getting, and she's getting me that publicity too, I feel like I have a responsibility. I want to basically let everyone know that I'm not just this cold killer. Somehow I just knew deep within my heart, some way me and her will end up being together in the end. There's no other option, we got to.
Hi, honey. I'm filming it. He's eating a brownie. But later he will be eating me.
That was, man, probably the best days of my life. I mean, that's the only way I can describe it. I enjoyed every second of it. From the very beginning, I just knew we were soulmates. Those 5 days where I was actually with her, physically with her, those 5 days were the most intense and magical and inspiring days I've ever had. I was gonna get a job and start looking for an apartment. After a little ways down the road, I'd probably end up marrying her and end up having children with her. That's something I've never had with someone else. I never, ever had it. And to this day, she's the only one that I've ever had that with.
But Nicholas and Gypsy's time together would soon come to an end, due to events already set in motion in the town of Springfield, Missouri.
On June 14th of 2015, the Greene County Sheriff's Office get a call from some concerned neighbors, friends of Claudine and Gypsy Blanchard.
Dee Dee and Gypsy were actually very well known in Springfield because of this tragic backstory of the very sick child that this single mother is taking care of.
They had basically been on their own. Dee Dee didn't have a real good relationship with Gypsy's father.
They came up from New Orleans area after Hurricane Katrina. They were displaced with no home.
And then Habitat for Humanity stepped forward, and they got a home from Habitat for Humanity. So they became kind of well-known around the community.
We have an awesome bathtub. It's a jacuzzi tub meant for my muscles. And we have a wonderful ramp so I can get up and down by myself.
Gypsy was in a wheelchair. She had all kinds of physical ailments.
We've been told that she was 15 with the mentality of a third or fourth grader because she has genetic disorders and she has cancer and she has muscular dystrophy and she has, you know, all of these other issues.
There was genuine love from this community for Gypsy and Dee Dee. They really cared for them. They wanted the best for them. They wanted to help them. And they did in many different ways, not just Habitat for Humanity, but helping them with food and money, donations. You know, the community really came together behind them to make sure they were okay and well taken care of here.
I think it was a blessing in disguise. It took something like a hurricane to make us have a happy ending.
But on June 14th, 2015, Gypsy and Dee Dee's friend, Kim Blanchard, notices a disturbing post on their shared Facebook profile.
Sunday afternoon, I'm scrolling through Facebook, not thinking about nothing, so to speak. I saw the initial Facebook post from their joint Facebook.
The post that had been left on Dee Dee and Gypsy's shared Facebook page said, "That bitch is dead."
Between the two of them, never a heavy word, never a curse word, heaven forbid. To see an expletive on theirs was, oh my goodness. Well, okay, I'm gonna give him a quick call. Nobody answers the phone. Nobody answers the house phone. Nobody answers the cell phone. And scroll down just a little further, and there's the second one.
The post was, "I slashed that fat pig and raped her sweet, innocent daughter."
And that's when I decided we're going to go to the house. Upon arriving, noticed that the vehicle was still in the driveway and that I couldn't see any movement or any lights on in the house. Walked around and knocked on doors and windows and nobody answered.
And that was the be-all and end-all right there. And it was, call the cops, we need a wellness check. There is something wrong.
When the first deputies got there, at that point, they didn't have enough information to just storm into the house. So what they did was basically try to look through the windows, try to look around, and knock on the door, announce themselves. And they ended up not getting a response.
And that's when we noticed that the window over the kitchen was unlocked. So I crawled in through the window and got inside. The only things I truly noticed immediately was it was totally dark, there was no lights on, and it was extremely cold in the house. As in, like, the air conditioning had been running nonstop. I noticed that 2 of Gypsy's wheelchairs were in the living room. I got to the bathroom, it was open, and her 3rd wheelchair was there. Okay, this is odd because I know she's got 3 and they're all here. Gypsy's bedroom was the last door on the left. I opened it, everything looked fine. Dee Dee's room was the last one on the right. I got to the doorway and I hit the light switch and the light did not come on. So I clicked it a couple times and it still didn't work. I did not feel the need to go in the room, so I didn't. I went back out, I opened up the front door, I told the sheriff there's nobody here.
They did ultimately obtain a search warrant to look inside that house.
When the officers enter Dee Dee's room, they don't notice anything out of the ordinary at first. But when they get closer to the bed, they notice the top sheet is covered in blood.
When they pulled back the sheet, that's when they discovered Dee Dee's body.
Once we found Dee Dee deceased, our priority at that point was to find Gypsy and make sure that she was safe.
There was fear at that point that Gypsy had actually been kidnapped and was possibly still alive, being held somewhere.
Coming up, as police race to find Gypsy, dark secrets come to light.
That couldn't be true. There was no universe in which that could be true.
And investigators get their first peek inside a love affair worth killing for.
She said, as long as you and me are together, that's all that matters to me.
The Greene County Sheriff has new information about a mother found murdered at her home and her missing daughter. Let's go live now to that neighborhood.
On June 14th, 2015, Claudine Dee Dee Blanchard is discovered murdered inside her Springfield, Missouri home, the victim of a horrific attack.
This was a gruesome, bloody scene that they stumbled onto in that house.
This crime had a sense of urgency because we were working this as an abduction, and we didn't know if we were on a time clock to find Gypsy alive. With Dee Dee, the medical examiner helped us determine the cause of death. It was determined that there were 17 stab wounds.
They also were able to tell that she had a very deep wound to the back of her neck. She was essentially nearly decapitated.
Claudinia was stationary during the incident, so any blood that would have been found throughout the house wouldn't have believed to have been hers unless it was potentially dropped from the weapon itself or from whoever had committed the crime.
There were some specks of blood that were on the bathroom door and a roll of paper towels, as well as they did a swab of the sink, and they found blood there.
While evidence is sent to the crime lab, law enforcement officials focus on finding Dee Dee's missing and disabled daughter, Gypsy.
We had the sheriff's posse out on horseback looking for Gypsy. We had volunteers coming from everywhere to start basically combing the area and looking to see if maybe she wasn't far from the house.
As far as I knew, Gypsy was a scared 15-year-old girl who couldn't walk that is now missing. So, of course, we were just terrified that somebody had come in, killed her mother, stolen whatever they wanted to, and took her with them.
While all that is happening, we were working with Facebook.
It was really believed at that time that the person who made that Facebook post had a direct involvement to her murder. Our computer forensics expert was able to get the IP address, which basically would be the location where the internet is being accessed. And it was discovered at that time that it was a residence in Waukesha, Wisconsin.
We immediately contacted the sheriff's office up there.
Detectives are able to identify the occupants of the home where the IP address originated. They also identify the owner of the computer.
The internet provider was associated with Nicholas Godejohn.
The sheriff's office did put together a tactical plan because they had no idea what they were getting into.
There were more than 24 SWAT team members from the Waukesha County Sheriff's Office. They were told that there could be a murder suspect in that home. They were told that there could be a second victim or someone taken from a murder scene who might be in harm's way.
The SWAT team asked Nicholas Godejohn to exit the home. Someone exits the home, but it's not Nicholas.
And Gypsy walked out of the house.
Everyone is shocked to see Gypsy, this girl who can't walk without a wheelchair, who's so sick. she's walking without assistance and she's surrendering to the police.
And that's when I knew there's something more to this story.
A huge break in this homicide investigation. Gypsy Rose Blanchard has been found safe. She is okay. And that also a person of interest is in custody.
This is an ongoing investigation. The prosecutor has filed charges this morning for first-degree murder on 2 suspects.
For the officer to say that he and she are persons of interest, I literally threw up in a wastebasket because it couldn't be true.
You know, we're still investigating the extent of the relationship, but it has been referred to as boyfriend, girlfriend.
It just was unbelievable. Each sentence that came out of his mouth was more unbelievable than the one before it.
Both Facebook postings that appeared were authored by Gypsy.
I think people found it very hard to wrap their brain around the fact that Gypsy was involved in this in any way. So it was easy, I think, to look at the person that we didn't know, who is Nicholas Godejohn, and wonder, did he make her do this?
Okay, I'll admit it. I did actually stab her. I will admit it.
I know that he loves me and he would do anything for me and to be with me.
Maybe he had talked her into doing something and things had gotten out of hand and mom had gotten killed and then he kidnapped her. Was that really so far outside of the realm of possibility?
As the story progressed, of course, opinions change.
We also know that Gypsy can walk without assistance or a wheelchair.
All right, go stand up for me.
Well, the videos speak for themselves. She's carrying her own luggage. She's very mobile and able to move around. Things are not always as they appear.
It went from, we have a homicide, Gypsy is missing, to unraveling their whole story and finding out all of this had not been true.
We found out that Gypsy was not 15. We also revealed almost a lifetime of scams by Dee Dee. Basically, her whole makeup was a lie. We have unearthed the appearance of a long financial fraud scheme along with this tragic event.
One of the strangest aspects of this case, Sheriff Jim Arnott says, the Blanchards were involved in con jobs lasting several years across several states.
People gave money to this family thinking they were helping a little girl who was suffering from leukemia, only to find out that it was all a ruse, that Dee Dee Blanchard had been abusing this child for years.
This wasn't just a murder. This whole city got scammed. We got scammed by Dee Dee. We got scammed by Gypsy because of what Dee Dee was making her do.
The evidence clearly indicates that Gypsy was victimized by her mother. But did she really conspire to murder her? Detectives put that very question to her boyfriend and alleged co-conspirator, Nicholas Godejohn.
Did Gypsy know that you were going to kill her mother?
Honestly, she asked me to. Did you help?
No, sir.
Nicholas kill your mom?
No, sir.
This is a case where deception has been at the root from moment one. How deep do the lies go? Who we thought was initially the victim turns out to be the suspect. How do we know who's telling the truth?
If Nicholas is telling the truth, why had he been so willing to help Gypsy kill her own mother?
Nicholas Godejohn is one of 2 living people at the center of this unfolding scandal. No one has really heard his side of what went on in their relationship and what led up to the decision for them to commit this awful crime.
What was life like before you met Gypsy?
Wow.
In June 2015, prosecutors in Greene County, Missouri, charged Gypsy Rose Blanchard and Nicholas Godejohn with the murder of Gypsy's mother, Dee Dee Blanchard.
Okay, I'll admit it. I did actually stab her.
When most people heard Nicholas Godejohn admit that he had stabbed Dee Dee Blanchard multiple times, they were ready to say, lock the door to the cell and throw away the key. But I think more people are starting to wonder, what kind of life did Nicholas Godejohn have before he met Gypsy Blanchard that might have led him to carry out the murder?
What was life like for me before I met Gypsy? I actually was basically alone. My parents split up right around the time I was between 3 and 4 years old. From that time forward, I was different from everyone else. Basically, my mom raised me the entire time, all the way to the age of 15, up in Waukesha, Wisconsin.
It was hard for him to make friends. He was always by himself. Pretty much grew up by himself.
From the very first day when I was in kindergarten all the way to 12th grade, every single one of those days I was in special education.
Nick's autism was first diagnosed in grade school.
The weird thing, though, is that even though I was in special education throughout that entire time, I was considered one of the smartest children in the classrooms that I was in, just because of my high-functioning autism. After high school, I was interested in computers. Originally, I wanted to be a computer repairman. They weren't too happy with how long I was taking to grasp it all. Ever since then, I wasn't able to really pursue any other paths of any type of career. So really, I kept to myself. The reason I kept to myself is because I didn't really have the social skills due to my mental disability.
Yeah, Nick, he was lonely. He loved the internet because he was able to connect with people.
I was basically a recluse. I kept to myself. I guess you could say I could open up more when I was online, for sure.
In October 2012, Nicholas would meet the woman who would become the love of his life.
Nicholas had been on this Christian dating website, free website, and had signed up.
I was raised as a Catholic, so my mom always taught me if you're gonna look for any woman, you should be looking for a Christian woman. This way they at least share the same values as I do.
He was going nowhere. He wasn't in school, he wasn't working. His only outlet was who he found online, and who he found was Gypsy.
October 9th, 2012. I'll never forget the date because that woman will always be in my heart. And because she'll always be in my heart, everything about her will always be stuck with me. She first reached out to me. Once she said hi, me being my natural shy or bashful self, I just said hi back.
In their initial encounter, Gypsy tells Nicholas she lives in Missouri with her overprotective mother. She also tells him she has a secret online account she uses to meet new people after her mother goes to bed.
Her mother would not allow her to date or have boyfriends or anything like that. Gypsy lived a very sheltered life.
There was something about her that I found very, very intriguing. I was definitely attracted to her. She told me about her being bound to a wheelchair. I didn't hold it against her. She was amazed that I accepted her, even if she was that way.
It didn't bother my son one bit because, you know, he felt for her because of that. And he wanted to help any way he could.
She made it seem like originally that she just wanted to be friends with me, but 3-4 days into it, I could tell that she was looking for more than that.
I think they felt very similar. As someone who was pretty isolated in their life, they seemed very much alike in that way, and I think that really bonded them together from the get-go.
It's crazy because I felt like she was like a long-lost friend.
Gypsy was aggressive and kind of just trying to bring them closer and closer to each other in a very quick way.
It seemed like it happened so quick. Really, it did. It felt like it happened so quick.
Nicholas, he was vulnerable. He was looking for love. He was looking for affection. Gypsy provided that.
It was 8 days from when we first actually met each other online before we became official. It felt great. It felt very great. I'm thinking, now this person might be the one.
They really began an almost exclusively online relationship.
I was so deeply in love with her already that it was just overwhelming.
It wasn't just boyfriend, girlfriend. It wasn't just, I'm attracted to you, I like talking to you. It was a very deep, intimate relationship.
Gypsy and Nicholas spend every night talking to each other. Then, one evening, Gypsy tells Nicholas she has a secret she needs to share with him.
She told me that her mom made her be in a wheelchair and she could walk.
Gypsy really started to trust him as when she started telling him the truth. And that's a big thing.
I told her that I knew that she could walk. I already knew that too. She's like, you baffled me at times because I don't know how you know these things. And all I could really tell her is that we're soulmates. That's the only way I could describe it to her. I just knew we're soulmates.
And I think that made them feel so much closer because when you share a secret like that together, that bonds you together. And I think that's when it really became that intense love relationship.
And then one night she said to me, well, I do have a question that is very serious I need to ask you. I'm like, okay, how bad do you really want to be with me? And that's when I told her, you know I would do anything to be with you.
Coming up, as their online obsession escalates, Nicholas asks Gypsy to test the boundaries of their relationship.
This was very sexual. There was the talk of BDSM. Nicholas wanted to be her master. It was down and dirty.
And Gypsy reveals a second, more disturbing secret, setting in motion a plan that will eventually lead to murder.
She wanted him to know she was suffering.
I was livid. I was livid when she told me.
By the fall of 2012, the relationship between Nicholas Godejohn and Gypsy Blanchard had accelerated and intensified beyond anything the online lovers had ever known.
They took on another world, and it was obvious in how they communicated that they weren't living in reality. It was just the two of them in their own fairy tale land.
I was 100% serious that I would want to marry her.
Their conversations continued, and they escalated to become more sexual as the months went on.
The relationship between Nicholas and Gypsy online was pretty steamy. There was the talk of BDSM, that's what Nicholas was into. He wanted to be her master.
He had actually sent her a bill of sale that would essentially make Gypsy his property. They would exchange videos back and forth. Everything she did in these videos would be scripted by Mr. Godejohn.
They took on these different personalities too when they communicated with each other.
Nicholas claims his sexually dominant side is part of an alternate personality that he first became aware of as a teen.
Once I got to the age of 18, something clicked to me. It was almost like something was trying to tell me, I'm here. You've created me. I'm there. When that side clicks, I'm a completely different person. The sweet, innocent me that I usually wake up to every day is not there. It's a completely different person. And like I said, I do have other personalities too. I started exploring it with Gypsy. She's the one I hoped that would be brave enough to actually explore it with me.
She cooperated in developing alternate personalities herself. I don't think they were authentic. I think they were done just to satisfy his rather perverse needs.
Nicholas would explain what certain sides of him liked, and Gypsy would cater to it. She would create a new character based on the likes that he described. She would wear wigs and makeup and outfits to fully satisfy those parts of him that he had described.
Rose is probably my favorite personality. That one is basically the most mature form of Gypsy. Bella is another one that most people don't know about. That was basically the romantic part of her. That part of her got along very well with my good part of me. Ruby, now that one is what was considered her evil side, which was basically in correspondence with mine. Then you had Kitty, which was basically like the little girl inside her. Kitty and my little boy part of me were really good friends. Then you had Candy. The best way to describe that part of her, which was basically her slutty part of her, that would probably be best in with my sexual part of me.
Gypsy and Nicholas's role-playing takes place exclusively at night, after Dee Dee goes to sleep.
Nicholas and Gypsy obviously had to keep this on the down low, away from Dee Dee, because Dee Dee would not have Gypsy having any kind of relationship with a boy. She didn't want her even having relationships with anyone. She wanted to keep Gypsy in a very tight, controlled environment. So, of course, they had to sneak around a lot.
Gypsy had no opportunity to establish boundaries with her mother. Her mother simply wouldn't allow it. That must have been very disturbing to have every utterance controlled by your mother, even when you are entering adulthood.
I never really knew when I was going to be able to talk to her because she had to keep our relationship secret from her mom. She had to because she knew that her mom would not allow it. And so every single time she'd either think that her mom is coming, she'd end up saying, I gotta log out, and right away log out.
Obviously, because she had to, she had become pretty good at hiding when she would communicate with Mr. Godeshan.
She had some close calls where I would not talk to her for a couple days. And there's even times it was even worse than that. There'd be times when I wouldn't be able to talk to her for a couple weeks. Even though she's not on all the time when I want her to be on, I know that she's still thinking about me.
In the spring of 2014, a year and a half into their secret online relationship, Gypsy tells Nicholas that she's more desperate than ever to be with him and to be out from underneath her overbearing mother. But Gypsy has another secret that's keeping them from being together.
Nicholas already knew that Gypsy could walk, even though her mother kept her confined to a wheelchair. But she said, no, this is bigger than that.
She was like, I just can't stand arguing with my mom like I am. And like, give it time, I'll get better. Well, she said, instead of getting better, I'm getting worse. One night, I mean, she hasn't been on for pretty much the whole day online at all. And then all of a sudden, she pops up out of nowhere at 10 o'clock at nighttime. And she's like, my mom hit me. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then she told me everything.
On June 15th, 2015, Nicholas Godejohn and Gypsy Blanchard are in custody at the Greene County Sheriff's Office.
I don't know how much she told you. I hope she told you everything that I do know also.
Okay.
Nicholas has opened up about his role in the murder of Gypsy's mother, Dee Dee, and how it all started when Gypsy revealed the disturbing truth of what life with her mother had truly been like.
Gypsy Blanchard and Nicholas Godejohn had been dating for about a year, all behind her mother's back. And it was about this time that she told him she had a secret.
About a year and a half into our relationship, she's like, my mom hit me. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then she told me everything.
Gypsy told Nicholas that in addition to forcing her to pretend she can't walk, her mother routinely abused her, both emotionally and physically. Gypsy also told Nicholas the real reason they couldn't be together was because she was a prisoner in her own home.
She told me her mom abused her. Her mom made her shave all her hair off. All that stuff. She told me all that stuff.
It's very clear that Dee Dee's behavior made it very hard for Gypsy to know if there was anyone she could trust. I think that's why she reached out so desperately to Nicholas.
Gypsy told Nicholas that in 2011, she found out that her mother had been lying about how old she was.
She became at least aware that her age was different than what was being told to people, because she had ended up seeing some medical document or insurance document. She had found it in their house that had her true name and date of birth on there.
Her date of birth was 1991. Her mother had told her she was born in 1995. Gypsy never questioned that. Why would she? But when she realized that she was 19 and not 15, she decided to leave.
She did reveal to him that, she had tried to escape, as she said, run away one time.
Gypsy also claimed that not long after she discovered her real birth date, she met an older man at a sci-fi convention she'd attended with her mother.
She found him online, and they talked for a few weeks in secret. And eventually they made the plan that she was going to come over to his house one night.
After her mom fell asleep, Gypsy did leave the house and took a cab over to the individual's house.
Unfortunately, somebody who knew her mom saw Gypsy at this other residence and actually let Claudine know that she was there.
Dee Dee then came over to the house and took Gypsy back. Dee Dee's explanation of that particular night was that this older man had, for lack of anything else, brainwashed her poor, naive little girl.
At that point, Claudine broke her computer because that was her really only means to this outside world, and then did end up chaining her to a bed and mistreating her pretty badly for several days.
She ended up beating her so badly to the point where she peed her pants, and I was livid. I was livid when she told me.
After that, Gypsy didn't try to run away again because she knew if she tried to run away, there would be repercussions. So she was fearful in trying to escape it again in the future.
She said, imagine being stuck as a 16-year-old, not being able to grow up, not being able to have friends, not being able to have boyfriends or anything like that. And being stuck at that age, not being able to pursue any of your dreams because your mother wants you to stay as a child.
She is sharing with Nicholas that she is completely being controlled by this woman. It pained him to know what she was going through. It's the first time I really think she laid it all out on the line to someone and said, this is what's really going on, and this is really wrong and terrible, and I'm living this terrible life under the control of this woman, and I don't know how to get out of it.
That's part of the reason why I started to grow the hatred towards her mom, because no child should ever have to endure that.
I think she wanted his sympathy. She wanted him to know just how much she was suffering and how much she needed him to save her, to be her savior.
As time went on, they grew more and more in love and more desperate to be with each other.
Nicholas tells police that in 2014, the couple grew so desperate that they began to see Dee Dee's death as the only way they could be together.
As early as about May of 2014, we get the first hint that they're thinking about murder.
Nicholas loved Gypsy. I think he would obviously do anything for her.
I think she used that as fuel to bring up my passion to want to get rid of her mom.
She made it clear that it would only work if Dee Dee was out of the picture, if Dee Dee was not there. I think that's where the gem started in Nick's brain, that I can do that for you. Let's get rid of her.
It didn't really matter what it took. I wanted to make sure her mom was not going to harm her anymore. I made sure of that.
Coming up, Gypsy and Nicholas begin making their deadly plans.
I told her that once we do this, we are not going to be able to go back.
And their first face-to-face encounter goes horribly awry.
At this point, her mom is basically rushing out of the theater. Apparently she was scared of me. I don't know why she was scared of me. I don't know why.
In the winter of 2014, Gypsy Rose Blanchard and Nicholas Godejohn were planning to spend the rest of their lives together.
They wanted to have a baby. They wanted to get married. They wanted to be together forever.
But their happiness depended on one thing: getting rid of Gypsy's mother.
And the roadblock in that relationship was Dee Dee.
It was Gypsy's idea that murder was the only option because she had tried running away before and it didn't work.
Gypsy did not believe that she could personally kill Claudine.
So she asked him to do it for her.
She had me so convinced that was the only way.
There were thoughts between Nicholas and Gypsy that maybe we don't have to go to the extreme. Maybe we can be together and not go all the way to murder.
One of the ideas they had was for Nicholas to get Gypsy pregnant, so Nicholas would be forced to be in her life because he'd be the father of her child, and Dee Dee would have to accept him. For whatever reason, they scratched that idea off the table.
One of the plans was, let's try and stage this cute meet where you'll meet my mom and she'll love you, and then we'll let her know that we're becoming boyfriend, girlfriend, and she'll be behind it, and everything will be great, and we'll have her support.
Gypsy loved everything Disney, and so they decided that the perfect place to meet would be at the theater when the live-action Cinderella movie came out.
The plan was that Mr. Godejohn would show up at the movie, appear to be a stranger, just happened to essentially run into Gypsy and Claudine, and the idea was Claudine would get to know him that way, get to like him, and then ultimately approve of their relationship.
She sent Nicholas money, bought him a bus ticket, so he could come down to Missouri to see her.
We ended up meeting on the 12th of March, 2015. Very first time I got to see her, her mom was paying for the tickets, and while she was paying for the tickets, Gypsy snuck a wave at me, and I waved back at her. I felt like, hey, she's here, she's here. It felt great. Gypsy is dressed in basically a Cinderella outfit with a yellow wig on.
Nicholas walked right up to Dee Dee while she was talking to a friend and introduced himself.
I said, did I hear that right? Your name is Dee Dee? And she's like, yeah, my name is Dee Dee. And this is my daughter, Gypsy. I'm like, oh, nice to meet you. I had a little smirk on my face, like, I know you, but she doesn't know I know you. I mean, I was playing it pretty well.
He sat next to Gypsy, again, them two pretending that they didn't know each other.
Gypsy's mother realizes that this young man's there to be next to Gypsy and is not happy about that.
Here's this guy who's showing up to a Disney movie by himself. I think she was a little creeped out by them.
Apparently, Dee Dee got up and moved down a few rows and told Gypsy to follow her. But Gypsy stayed seated where she was.
Her mom was so zoned into the movie that she didn't pay attention. Every single time there was a kissing moment in the actual movie, we would end up kissing at the very same time. Not only that, we were also hiding our hands, holding each other's hands together too. We were hiding that very well too. There's a picture that we gotten to take that it looks like we were truly happy together. And definitely one of the highlights of my life. But halfway through the movie, me and her already had this planned out to where she wanted to give me her virginity, so she ended up sneaking out. She led me right into the men's bathroom. I ended up taking her virginity. I'll admit that I was in a state of bliss. I've never experienced that before. But really, really, it's one of those feelings right now I wish I could have back. And then just as her mom was coming out of the theater to wonder where she was, perfect timing. I ended up being right in the concession stand to make it look like I was just trying to get something from maybe popcorn or something like that. At this point, her mom is basically rushing out of the theater, and then she's like, oh, I gotta catch up to my mom and calm her down. I'm like, okay, talk to you later. Just before I ended up having to go to get a taxi, I ended up getting a quick peck on the lips from her before she left.
Nicholas believed their staged meetup had gone according to plan, but he soon learned that wasn't the case.
Ultimately, Mr. Godeshan leaves and finds out from Gypsy that her mom ended up not actually liking him or thought he was weird.
Apparently she was scared of me, and I don't know why she was scared of me. I don't know why.
I think that Gypsy knew then that any hope of convincing her mom that she could make her own decisions, have her own life, have her own friends, have her own relationships, anything, was not going to happen.
Dee Dee was not an acceptance of any relationship that Gypsy would have, so Dee Dee was very protective not to let anybody in, so the plan for them to be together and that Dee Dee would accept him did not happen at that point.
I don't think that was ever going to happen, just because it couldn't, because of what Dee Dee needed from Gypsy to keep this con going. So I don't know why they thought that was going to work.
With their plan a failure, Gypsy and Nicholas agreed they had only one choice left.
We really realized that we had to be together. We just had to. There's no other option. We had to.
After the meeting at the theater went so terribly wrong, that's when they knew they were going to have to kill her.
And that's when I told her, you know, I would do anything to be with you.
How should we kill her? Then became the next step.
In May of 2015, Gypsy Blanchard and Nicholas Godejohn decided murdering her mother Dee Dee was their only option if they wanted to be together.
Gypsy Blanchard told Nicholas Godejohn that she would never be able to follow through with killing her mother. And if they were ever going to be together, she needed him to do it.
But originally, I didn't even want to do that. I wanted to grab her and run. If I had to, I'll admit it, if I had to blackmail her mom to keep her away from her, I would have.
I think Nicholas was also hesitant. I don't think he necessarily wanted to go through with it. I think he tried to maybe talk Gypsy out of it a few times and it didn't work. So once he realized it wasn't going to work, he got on board with it.
And that's when I told her, you know I would do anything to be with you. So they're like, okay, if you're really serious about this, then this is something to not joke around about. You have to understand that once we do this, we are not going to be able to go back. This is something to not turn back from. And she's like, I understand that, I understand that. A lot of different methods we went through, a lot of them. Making it look like her mom committed suicide, which too much work is what she ended up thinking that was. Then ended up going from there to like poisoning. For the poisoning thing, we really didn't know how to get in hands on any poison. So once she brought up a firearm, I'm like, that makes too much noise. You don't want to alert anyone around you.
Nicholas determined stabbing would be the best way to kill Dee Dee because she would bleed out faster, and he thought it would be just a quick, easy death for her.
I told her that you don't want to alert your neighbors or anything else like that, so that might be the way we have to go about it. So really, is in my eyes, the way I see it as basically it was a conjoined decision. It was really both of our decision, Denise and I, really.
It took some time for them to plan everything. They had to make sure everything was in place for the murder to happen and then to get away as quickly as possible.
Gypsy pays for his bus ticket to get him down from Wisconsin.
She had sent him money. She would be, I think, pretty good at taking money from her mom, and she ended up mailing that to Mr. Godeshan.
There was definitely more excitement, I think, building in their communication as they knew the day was getting closer to Dee Dee being murdered. Gypsy was emphasizing that she was ready, that she was basically looking forward to Nicholas coming and carrying out the crime. Nicholas was very receptive to that. He was just as excited and ready.
She said, as long as you be together, that's all that matters to me. One of the other things that she said that convinced her that it was the right thing to do, she said, I love you more than I love my mom. I'm like, really? I'm not joking about that. I really mean it. I said to her, I feel honored that I love you in the very depths of my heart, too. You know, I want to do anything for you if I can.
On June 8th, 2015, Nicholas Godeshan boarded a bus in Waukesha, Wisconsin to head for Springfield, Missouri.
It was a 17-hour bus ride. Getting to see Gypsy was on my mind the entire time. I was driven to be with her regardless of what happened. I was going to be with her. That's what was in my mind. That's what I made my mind up as, regardless of how it was going to have to happen.
About 6 a.m. on June 9th is when Mr. Godeshan gets to Springfield.
He gets into town and he gets his motel room.
For the most part, he spends that day in his motel room.
Me and her were talking to each other the entire time.
They not seamlessly, rather awkwardly transition from talking about all of the preparation for murder to having sex and what kind of sex they're going to have and what Gypsy will wear.
The emotions were building, and it was definitely evident in their text messages to each other.
I think she was captive in a real sense. Her individuality was stifled and she was under the thumb of her mother. She viewed her escape as requiring the most extreme behavior possible, which was murder.
As we start getting to the evening of June 9th, as it's getting closer, again, this excitement is coming out in their conversations.
She would play on this notion that she really didn't believe I would do it. She wouldn't believe I would do it. It's like, You're not backing out on me now, are you?
In June of 2015, Nicholas Godejohn traveled to the home of Gypsy and Dee Dee Blanchard with the intent of murdering Dee Dee in her sleep. It was Nicholas and Gypsy's last desperate resort to be together after their other plans had failed.
They had worked it out between each other. She was going to leave the door open. She was going to have the knife for him. And then it was up to him to do the ultimate deed.
She repeatedly thanks him for doing what needs to be done. At one point she phrases it, "Thank you for doing the worst for the best of us." She does make mention in her text messages when she is alerting Mr. Godejohn that Claudine's taken her sleeping pill, she should be asleep soon.
She's like, I said goodnight to my mom. I'm at peace now. I got to say my last I love you to her and everything else. I'm ready for this. I'm 100% in, is what she told me.
After that, he took a cab from the Days Inn to the address on Volunteer Way. At one point, Mr. Godejohn asks whether or not Claudine is a light or a heavy sleeper.
She was excited about it, but at the same time, I could tell from the way that she was talking to me that she was afraid that this wasn't going to go as well as it should. She would play on this notion that she really didn't believe I would do it. She's like, "You're not backing out on me now, are you?" I'm like, "No."
About 2:07 a.m., he texts Gypsy, "I'm here."
So she's like, "Okay, come up to the door, I'll let you in." And she said, "Make sure you have your latex gloves on at the time." Well, that's what I did. I had to have them on. The very second that she let me in the door, I put my very first foot down. I had one of those moments you might only have once in your lifetime. It was an angel and a devil. First, the angel spoke. It actually said, his very actual words was, "Take her and run." And then you had the other part of me, that damn devil. What it ended up telling me was, "This bitch is dead." That's all it said, "This bitch is dead." I got so darn enraged that the other side of me clicked. Unfortunately, that part of me wanted to come out for a very long time, and the very first opportunity it got, it didn't waste any time trying to make an example out of somebody, unfortunately. That dark shadow part of me that really is triggered by anger. And once that level of anger clicks, I see red. I see red. So I ended up whispering to Gypsy, "Get in the bathroom because I just want to get this over with." From that point forward, there's no turning back. I just, in midair, just went on top of her and instantaneously woke her up.
Claudine actually woke up and could tell that this strange person was on top of her and was actually asking who he was.
She ended up asking me, "Who are you?" "I'm your effing nightmare." While she was struggling, that other part of me, he ended up saying, "You'll be dead before I let you get between me and Ruby." I lost all control. I had no control of my body, none.
He stabbed her 17 times in the back, almost decapitated her. Gypsy was in the bathroom hiding as her mother was being stabbed. She heard her mother screaming and even calling her name, and Gypsy felt bad. She just stayed hidden in the bathroom the entire time and didn't go to her mother's rescue.
After her mom passed away, I stayed at the doorway like a good 5 minutes to make sure her mom was gone. Because I didn't want her somehow getting up and then going after her daughter or trying to go after me or something. I just wanted to make sure. After that, I ended up going to the bathroom door. We had a code that we came up with. This way she would know it's me rather than her mom. I ended up having a wound on my finger that I was bleeding all over the house, so she had to clean that up.
He actually had asked that Gypsy clean naked, because that was a turn on to him.
After that happened, we ended up having sex in Gypsy's bedroom.
After the crime was committed and they did what they thought they needed to do to clean up the scene, they went back to the hotel where Nicholas had been staying.
They were excited after they committed the murder. The mission was accomplished and it was a time for celebration so that they could be together.
I'm feeling it.
There's this video. It's Nicholas naked in the bed and she's giggling.
He's eating a brownie. But later he will be eating me.
It's just so laissez-faire. It's so removed from 2-3 hours ago, I killed your mom. 2-3 hours ago, I had you kill my mom. Oh, let's giggle and have sex and make videos.
No sense of remorse, no sense of regret, no sense of sadness.
I was with her in the hotel 2 days, both blissful.
They actually then were scheduled to get back on a Greyhound bus to Wisconsin that next day.
Gypsy had by this point ditched the wheelchair.
The surveillance from the Greyhound bus station shows them waiting in line and then ultimately finally getting on that bus to go back to Wisconsin.
Gypsy liked where I lived at the time, Big Bend. She liked it there, and she thought it was really peaceful. She really did. I was by her side whenever I made her be doing walking. The only thing that she had trouble with was walking long distances. She didn't have to build up the leg strength to walk longer distances. We had such peaceful weather. I had a lot of conversations. I just got to hold her a lot. I got to do a lot of things that I wanted to do.
I don't think they were worried or concerned they were going to get caught. I think they were still just very excited and giddy that they were together and Gypsy was free from the torture and the abuse, and she was a free woman. And I believe they lived that way until they ultimately were caught.
We actually said we would never talk about this ever again. We would never utter this to another soul.
But on June 14th, Gypsy made a fateful decision and logged into the Facebook account she once shared with her mother.
At some point after the homicide, Gypsy had posted on Facebook, "The bitch is dead."
She believed that making that Facebook post was sensational enough that it would get people to act and to eventually find her mom.
I don't think Nicholas knew that Gypsy was going to be making the Facebook post, but by her making that Facebook post, she definitely alerted authorities to where she was.
On the morning of June 15th, 2015, Nicholas and Gypsy are asleep in his bed when they're startled awake by an alarming sound.
Morning I will never forget. I remember me and her being spooked out of a dead sleep with police saying, Nicholas, go to John Minoyer up there. Please come out with your hands up.
Suddenly, the home where Nicholas and Gypsy are staying is surrounded by SWAT team officers.
She ended up going into the freaking closet. I just followed her. And she started crying, so I tried to comfort her. And I told her, I don't care if I gotta freaking protect you with my dead body. I'm not gonna let them take you. And that's when she realized she didn't want that to happen, and she was actually scared of that. I think that's the reason why she started to turn herself in first.
They do have this final moment where they're in Mr. Godesham's closet, and he is reiterating to her to make sure to stick to the story that they had come up with.
She ended up saying, I love and adore you. It was what you used to always say to each other all the time. I said, I love and adore you too. Just before she was about to go down there, I got that last kiss. That's when she turned herself in. And then I came down slowly, and they arrested me.
Coming up, with Nicholas and Gypsy in custody, stories start to shift and the finger pointing begins.
Gypsy pretended she didn't even know her mother was dead.
And the question rises, did Gypsy ever truly love Nicholas? Or did she simply want to be done with her mother's abuse and manipulation forever?
I think Gypsy learned at the feet of the master.
I don't know why I didn't see this coming.
On June 15th, 2015, Waukesha County Sheriff's deputies detained Gypsy Blanchard and Nicholas Godejohn in Big Bend, Wisconsin.
They had me in a cell by myself. But what ended up happening was they were trying to take me back to another one. I ended up walking on past her. And she just starts going wild. She basically says, baby, I'm sorry. I love you. Please don't forget about me. Please. I'm sorry. And I'm like, all I did was stop and look at her. And one of the officers pushed me and keep on walking.
We served the search warrant the next day to actually search the residence for evidence after Gypsy and Nicholas were arrested. In Nicholas's bedroom is where the majority of the evidence was found.
They find a cache of cash, thousands of dollars that probably was stolen from Dee Dee from the home. The murder weapon is there with blood still on it. They had shipped it from Springfield to Wisconsin to his home.
Before leaving Springfield for Wisconsin, Gypsy was worried that if they took the knife with them on the bus, they would get discovered. So they did go to a post office and mailed both the knife and the gloves.
Nicholas had told us ahead of time where the knife would be. And sure enough, that's where we found the knife, in his closet, in the package, not opened yet.
They did not clean up their tracks very well at all.
When Gypsy and Nicholas were taken into custody, they were not hesitant about speaking about their actions. Detectives that were in that interview were quite surprised that she was getting around by herself, walking, and did not seem to be in as desperate of a health state as Greene County thought she may be.
Not only was she okay, but it appeared pretty clearly that she was there willingly with Mr. Godejohn as his girlfriend.
How did you get from Missouri to here?
Not about a week ago. It all started when I met my boyfriend Nick.
I don't know how much she told you. I hope she told you everything that I do know also.
Okay.
Apparently from what she told me, her mom kicked her out of her house.
Okay.
So she texted me to pick her up.
This first story he gave was that, they had met and gotten in a relationship, and that his understanding is that Gypsy had been kicked out of her house, so he was going to take the Greyhound bus down to Springfield to pick her up, bring her back to Wisconsin to live with him, basically.
I was worried sick about her when I got there, to where I wanted to find her as soon as possible.
Okay.
Because I knew she was wandering the streets.
Nicholas was very reluctant at first to admit his involvement. The investigator kept pressing him.
Nick, I want you to do the honorable thing, okay? For Gypsy.
About 20 minutes or so into the actual interview, he admitted to murdering Claudine.
And then the truth is, okay, I'll admit it. I did actually stab her mom. I will admit it.
I know. Okay.
The only reason I did it is because I did it for me and her. That's the real reason I did it. I would have never did it if it was not for me and her.
Okay.
The interview from Nicholas Godejohn gave quite a bit of information that wasn't correct with what Gypsy was stating.
And I want you to understand that you need to be honest with me. And if you're involved in anything that I'm about ready to tell you, then you need to tell me, okay?
Gypsy pretended she didn't even know her mother was dead.
Your mom's dead, okay? Now, what I want to ask you is, your mom's passed away, okay? She's deceased, all right? Now, what I want to ask you, did you have involvement in this? Okay.
Gypsy still try a little bit longer to say, no, 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 I don't know. I have no idea what happened to her. And he really just says, no, you know.
I would never hurt my mom.
Okay, sweetheart, do you really want to dig yourself? You're digging yourself deeper. Okay?
No, seriously, I would never hurt her.
Listen to me, okay? I don't play around with that, okay? I'm not gonna play around with this.
That's when she starts finally breaking down.
I really love my mom.
I know you do. I know you, sweetheart, I know you love your mom.
Look, Nick and my mom didn't get along very good.
Okay.
But that's all I know.
So why do you think Nick did this?
I didn't say he did. I know that he loves me and he would do anything for me and to be with me.
Okay, I'm asking you direct and straight.
Mm-hmm.
Did you kill your mom?
No, sir.
Did you have knowledge that Nicholas was going to kill your mom before he did it?
No, sir.
Did Gypsy know that you were going to kill her mother?
Honestly, she asked me to.
Do you think that if Gypsy hadn't asked you to kill her mom, you'd ever killed her mom?
I know I wouldn't have done
Okay, you just did it because you loved Gypsy and Gypsy asked you to do it.
Yes.
When detectives confront Gypsy with Nicholas's statement, she continues to profess her innocence. But detectives quickly find evidence to the contrary.
Things were progressing very quickly all at the same time in Springfield, Missouri. We were unveiling Facebook communication back and forth between Gypsy and Nicholas Godejohn that painted a much different story.
For police, they had so much evidence right almost from the get-go.
This plan was very clear that Gypsy made the suggestion, assisted. She talked Nicholas Godejohn into carrying the plan out.
Fascinating new details in a Springfield murder case. Gypsy Blanchard and her boyfriend, Nicholas Godejohn, are now jailed in Wisconsin on first-degree murder.
People were obviously bewildered by what was going on before their eyes. Gypsy Blanchard supposedly suffered from cancer and multiple health issues, who'd been in a wheelchair, and suddenly she walks into a Waukesha County courthouse handcuffed as the suspect in her mother's murder.
You start realizing the depths of this con.
Gypsy didn't know that she wasn't actually sick. She knew she didn't need the wheelchair, but she actually thought she had cancer. She had all of these different diseases. And it wasn't until after she was arrested that she learned that she was actually healthy.
We learned that Dee Dee Blanchard had for years cajoled and pushed on doctors to say that she had all sorts of medical conditions that she didn't have.
Munchausen by proxy refers to a very important form of child abuse. The Munchausen by proxy perpetrator is willing to view their child as an object, to be manipulated rather than a child to be loved. And so they feign, exaggerate, or actually induce illness in their child in order to get some sort of emotional gratification. They don't do it primarily to get money, though that may happen as a result of having a sick child. They do it primarily because they like the attention that they're getting. The abuse in the Blanchard case is as potent and disturbing as any I've ever seen. Dee Dee and Gypsy were victims of Hurricane Katrina. Dee Dee claimed that all of the medical records for Gypsy were destroyed, and that would be ideal for someone who wants to suppress those records and not have them seen by future doctors.
Gypsy led a horrible life. Gypsy was confined to a wheelchair, fed medications, poked, prodded. I will never say that Gypsy is not a victim.
No woman should ever, no child for that matter, should ever have to be raised that way. No one ever should ever have to be raised that way. So my heart goes out to her for that.
question then becomes, did Gypsy really love Nicholas? Or was he just a pawn that she manipulated in order to do what she wanted and needed?
He felt like he was saving her. And that was her. I mean, I can't believe they went that route. If Nick would have came to me, and I would, you know, it would have ended totally different. But she must have had a hold on him.
It's not crazy to think that Gypsy learned from her mother how to manipulate people, because Dee Dee had been doing it her entire life.
I think Gypsy learned at the feet of the master. She learned that people can be manipulated, and she found an individual who was in love with her and willing to do anything she said. Somebody who also was willing to do what it would take to free Gypsy from the stranglehold her mother had on her. And Nicholas was more than willing.
Originally, in the beginning, I did feel that she was not taking responsibility for her actions. But at the same time, due to the way I know she was raised, I can't blame her. I can't.
How is justice delivered in a case like this, when the lines between victim and perpetrator are so blurred? Who's the real villain here?
I somehow just knew deep within my heart, some way me and her would end up being together in the end.
On June 16, 2015, Nicholas Godejohn and Gypsy Rose Blanchard are indicted for the murder of Gypsy's mother, Dee Dee.
Startling new developments in an already bizarre murder case in Springfield.
Gypsy Blanchard, now charged with killing her mother.
My wife and I went and saw Gypsy in Greene County Jail because I needed some answers. And the biggest one was, why did you not say anything to anybody? All you had to do was stand up one time in public and all this would have been different. And the only thing she could say was, the only reason I didn't say anything is because I didn't want Mom to go to jail. To which my response was, well, this is a little bit more permanent than that. And she just kind of hung her head and said, I understand.
On July 5, 2016, the Greene County District Attorney's Office holds a surprise hearing in the case of Gypsy Blanchard.
24-year-old Gypsy Blanchard stood in the courtroom looking scared and nervous as she admitted to planning and killing her mother, Dee Dee Blanchard.
Gypsy was at the center of an international story that drew headlines around the world. I think most people were stunned to find out that a murder plot was drawing this kind of national attention.
Dee Dee obviously was the main victim of a murder, but there was a lot of sympathy for Gypsy, not for the act, not for what she did, but for what led her to that.
Ultimately, prosecutors offered Gypsy Blanchard a plea deal, and she took it.
How did you plead to the Class A felony of murder in the second degree?
Gypsy will spend 10 years in jail. She will only get the possibility of probation if she serves 8 years of her sentence.
When you look at her situation, it really probably is the worst case of child abuse that you'll ever see. And so for her, it was such a mitigating factor that we did feel that although we can't condone it and we don't give a free pass, we certainly give a lot of consideration because she really did, you know, suffer pretty horrifically, and that was really her life up until that point.
The question now becomes, what happens to Nicholas?
In November 2018, Nicholas Godejohn's trial begins in Greene County, Missouri.
Coming into the trial, there was a bit of a misconception that due to the very severe abuse of Gypsy that came out, that was actually why Nicholas Godejohn murdered Claudine.
There was a ton of evidence against both Nicholas and Gypsy. There were computer searches, text messages, Facebook messages.
That was a big part, I think, of what I hope dispelled this knight in shining armor myth about Mr. Godejohn, is that it wasn't a reluctant, I guess I'll just do what has to be done to save you, that he really got into the role for him, that he got to sort of play this assassin.
He's finalizing the plan in his head, thinking about it in a day and hours before he goes to kill Dee. Not only that, he was looking forward to it and excited about it.
The defense primarily was that because of Mr. Godejohn's autism, that he simply did not have the ability to deliberate.
Gypsy manipulated Nick, a low-functioning person with autism. And then Gypsy pressures Nick into committing a homicide against her mother.
A secondary element of their defense is probably also was to make this a lot about Gypsy and the fact that this was her idea, to get some of that attention away from Mr. Godejohn and his actions.
Lying, conning people, manipulating people, that's all she had known. And so that was really their only recourse in the defense of Nicholas, to say, yes, he did stab Dee Dee, yes, he did kill her, but this was all Gypsy's idea, and she manipulated him into doing this. She's the evil genius behind this.
On November 15th, 2018, Nicholas's defense attorney calls Gypsy Blanchard to the stand.
When Gypsy walked in to testify, the one thing a lot of people wanted to know was, how is Nick going to react?
It's the first time she and Nicholas have been in the same room since they were arrested 3 years earlier.
He stared at her hungrily, like he wanted to drink her in. He couldn't get enough of her. From the moment she walked in, his eyes tracked her all the way until she went to sit down to give her testimony.
She could tell from my eye contact with her that I'm like, don't you dare lie on the stand. Don't you dare lie on the stand.
Miss Blanche, would you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you are about to...
When Gypsy testified in Nicholas's trial, she was pretty forthright.
Whose idea was it to kill your mother?
Mine.
Why did you want to kill your mother?
Because I wanted to be free of her hold on me.
Did you and Nick ever talk about this?
Yes,
Who initially brought up killing your mother?
I did.
She did admit it was her original idea, and she asked him to do it for her. She provided the weapon and did the planning with him. So she was pretty forthright about that.
Who talked you into killing your mother?
I did. I talked him into it.
Even though she was a witness for the defense, ultimately her testimony served better for the prosecution because she said that Nicholas was 100% willing to do anything she wanted.
State of Missouri versus Nicholas Godejohn. The jury has announced that they have reached a verdict. As to count one, we, the jury, find the defendant, Nicholas Godejohn, guilty of murder in the first degree.
How that verdict and everything happened, how it came down, was influenced by Satan himself. I really do believe that. I believe that he was corrupting the actual whole thing. I seen too much of it. I seen too much signs that he was around.
At sentencing, he told the judge that all he ever wanted was to be loved. All he wanted was a woman's love, and that's why he committed the murder, because he was blindly in love with Gypsy, and he asked the judge to show him any kind of mercy.
We assess and declare the punishment for murder in the first degree at imprisonment or life without the possibility of probation or parole.
I wasn't surprised. Like I said, when I had it happen, I mean, there was a shock at first, but then I got over the shock. It wasn't like being shell-shocked where it would last a long time. It didn't happen that way.
Despite his life sentence, Nicholas remains optimistic about his chances for an appeal.
Even when I know that the verdict is going to turn out to be that, I'm not afraid of it because I know that there's something better waiting for me. I know there's a better verdict waiting for me.
Nicholas Godejohn is a young man who now is spending the rest of his life behind bars. And the question is, what more could have been done for this young man prior to this happening?
I should have been more aware of how they were interacting and how far it was progressing and what they wanted.
The stars aligned somehow that these two individuals found each other and ultimately did commit this murder that obviously captured the nation's attention.
Though he will likely spend the rest of his life behind bars, Nicholas says he has no regrets about freeing Gypsy from her mother's abuse and claims he still loves Gypsy with all his heart. Despite the fact that Gypsy says she's moved on from their relationship, and in 2019, she announced her engagement to a new man.
I feel that she could still be the one. I somehow just knew deep within my heart, some way me and her will end up being together in the end. I don't know how I knew that, but it's just something that is unexplainable. I feel that she's still with me.
Hi, honey.
I would have done it again. I really would have. I would have done it again. I might have done it differently, but I would have done it again. I just couldn't see her. I couldn't see her suffer anymore.
For more information on killer couples, go to oxygen.com.
They were a successful and respected husband and wife.
He was convinced that she was the woman of his dreams.
You could see how happy they were.
But their happiness would be shattered by a horrific crime.
This was a premeditated, a planned murder.
As the details of the investigation come into focus, a community is left to wonder, was there more to this beloved family than met the eye?
I can't sleep laying thinking about you all night.
They kind of had this open relationship.
And whose betrayal was it that led to murder?
There was this magnetism, this kind of dangerous guy was in love with her. Her ego thrived off of it.
We're supposed to be together.
I don't think so, honey.
Why don't you?
Because we'd have to do something terrible to do it.
This put a high price on murder.
You never know unless that person's back is against the wall, what they're capable of doing.
Throughout most of her life, wherever Donna Roberts went, her colorful reputation preceded her.
She's very attractive, you know, bubbly personality, brunette, flirtatious, over the top. She walked in, they noticed her, you know. She made sure of that.
A native of Youngstown, Ohio, Donna's bold personality and natural beauty were what attracted her first husband.
My mother, Donna, met my father, William Raymond, in high school. They dated. They both ended up going to Youngstown College.
She attended for 2 years, and then she married her first husband. And they decided to move to Miami, Florida, because they wanted to get away from the cold winters.
They settled down, bought a house. She was working in the hospital.
Shortly after moving to Florida, the couple welcomed their son Michael into the world. Donna was 25 at the time. But it wasn't long before she began to have second thoughts about settling down.
About 2 years into having a kid, having a husband, having a dog, the whole picket fence and everything, I think it was more than what she was bargaining for. In Miami in the late 60s was a very partying place, and she just wanted to explore and see more of what was going on. I do recall my father telling me that, one day she just handed him an envelope and went off to work, and he opened the envelope and there was divorce papers, and that's how he found out that they were getting divorced.
For the next 10 years, Donna enjoyed the single life. Supporting herself as a plastic surgeon's assistant, she told friends she relished her freedom and had no plans to marry again. But that changed in 1980 when Donna, now 36, began dating a handsome businessman named Robert Fingerhut.
Robert was a licensed private investigator in South Florida. He was also known for his skills as a businessman, and he sold tools and negotiated logistical contracts for shipping companies.
My mother and Robert were a very interesting and unique couple. He loved her looks. He loved her mind. He was very intrigued by her. He was a non-traditional person.
She broke up with him several times, but he was convinced that she was the woman of his dreams, so he kept pursuing her.
Robert's persistence impressed Donna, as did his sizable personal fortune. And when Robert popped the question, Donna, despite her vow to remain single, said yes.
He and Donna built their dream home with a pool in Miami Gardens in 1983.
Really nice house. It was actually in a gated community, a 2-story home, which is odd for Miami. He had a nice in-ground pool that was his baby. He was always out there cleaning it. One leaf fell in it. He was out there cleaning it up.
Life seemed perfect for Donna and Robert in Miami, except for the crime rate there. Donna was nearly carjacked. She was also accosted at a gas station.
Donna told her husband she felt a pull to return to her Midwestern roots. And the chance came when Robert was presented with a surprising business proposition.
Donna and Robert had the opportunity to move back to Donna's hometown of Youngstown. Robert was given a car rental franchise at the Youngstown airport.
They took it over, turned business around, put up productivity over 300%. And then somehow an opportunity came open for them to get the Greyhound franchise out of the downtown Youngstown, and they moved on to that opportunity.
Robert was a very hard worker. He was actually running 2 Greyhound bus stations, the one in Warren and the one in Youngstown. The one in Youngstown was much more business, much more passengers going through.
There was a restaurant also attached to the bus terminal, and it was empty, and they purchased it.
A little diner called Just the Ticket, which, kind of cute name, and it was packed. My mom had fun with it.
She ran the restaurant. She was down there every day.
Even when she was working, Donna's fun-loving and sometimes audacious personality was always on full display.
She'd be back there at the restaurant, smoking reefer. I was up there, selling tickets there, and you could smell it.
Donna's penchant for smoking marijuana on the job often clashed with her husband's more traditional work ethic.
They'd go down, and you could hear a big argument going on because you can't smoke marijuana, and this is my business. I do whatever I want to do here.
Despite their difference of opinion on smoking pot on the job, Donna and Robert remained a powerful and respected couple, both in the eyes of their customers and the greater Youngstown community.
And so when you started to look into their history and you talked to people and they just thought they were this great kind of a little offbeat kind of couple, they were rich and they were eccentric like that and they enjoyed life.
But Donna and Robert's seemingly charmed lives would be violently disrupted on December 12, 2001. Shortly after midnight, a frantic call comes in to Youngstown 911 from the couple's home.
Man, what's the matter? Take a deep breath, tell me what's the matter.
The 911 call was very vague. Donna was hysterical.
Your husband?
She sounds frantic and distressed, says that he was either stabbed or had some medical condition, but he needed help.
Oh my God. Oh my God, we're sending some help.
Coming up, as police search the scene of this violent home invasion, sordid details come to light about Robert and Donna's marriage.
She said that they had an open relationship.
This younger man paid a lot of attention to her, which may have been something that she felt she needed.
Man, what's the matter? Take a deep breath, tell me what's the matter.
Police and EMTs in Youngstown, Ohio, are racing to the home of Donna Roberts and Robert Fingerhut after Donna reports her husband has been attacked by an intruder.
Emergency responders arrive on the scene, and Donna comes out the front door of the house, hysterical, and tells them that her husband's in the kitchen.
They entered the Fingerhut house through the front door, and there they came upon a very grisly scene. There was Robert Fingerhut in a pool of blood with a gunshot wound to the head.
The victim is lying face down. There were some supplies, some cases of water and pop on the floor, and it was very obvious that there had been some type of scuffle in that location, and he had been shot multiple times.
Sadly, there's nothing that can be done to save Robert. Once officers verify no gunman is hiding in the house, they approach Donna to get a statement describing how she discovered her husband's body.
Donna went through her day. She said that Robert, the last time she saw him was 8 o'clock in the morning. He got up to get ready to go to work, and she saw him leave. And she stayed in bed till 10, and then she went to work at the Warren bus terminal.
Donna told us she'd worked all day from noon till about 5:30, and that the last time she spoke with him was over the telephone at 9 o'clock when he called her and said he was going to be late and that she should go out and go shopping. Donna told us that when she returned from shopping, she hit the garage door opener like she always does, and she realizes that the garage door is going down, that it was left open. She actually pulled in the garage and parked her car, gets out, doesn't see Robert until she gets into the house, and then called 911 and requested help.
Donna can't think of anyone who might want to harm her husband, but she does point out something that's missing from the home.
She shares with the detectives that Robert's Chrysler 300 wasn't in the garage. She told the officers there's no reason why the car wouldn't be here.
We determined that more than likely the killer took the car to escape the scene.
We put out an alert to all law enforcement across the country that that vehicle was used in a homicide and that it's wanted by our police department.
Nothing else was taken from the house aside from the car. No other valuables were missing. The house had not been ransacked in any way. And even stranger was the fact that Robert's wallet was still on him. So this person who came in and killed him didn't take anything but the vehicle.
When you investigate a crime in a home like this, one of your first suspects is usually a spouse. You want to rule them out very quickly. We can do a very simple test to see if she had handled that gun and had fired it. And there's no indication that she had fired a firearm that night.
With Donna eliminated as the shooter, detectives escort her away from the house so that CSIs can do a more thorough search for possible clues.
We didn't find any shell casings anywhere. We had to speculate that either if a semi-automatic weapon was used, the perpetrator picked him up and took him with him, or otherwise the murder weapon was going to be a revolver. We felt that whoever did this was laying in waiting for him to come home. He took Robert by surprise, and when you saw the layout of the home and you saw it was very dark in there, and if you got far enough into the living room, you would never see the person in there until it was too late.
In the garage, CSIs find blood next to where Robert's vehicle had been parked. They also discover a trail of blood leading away from Robert's body, heading further into the home.
We found some small blood drops that were not near the initial crime scene.
Detectives theorize that the blood trail had been left behind by the killer from an injury sustained during the attack on Robert.
All we can speculate is that after the murder occurred, the perpetrator was trying to find something to stop the bleeding or cover the wound, so he more than likely was able to get a hand towel or something.
CSIs collect blood samples to run DNA tests. While they wait on the results, Donna visits investigators the next day at the police station. She tells them that now that she's calmed down from her initial shock, she can think of someone who might have wished her and her husband harm.
Through their interviews with Donna Roberts, they learned that the Fingerhuts owned 2 Greyhound bus stations, and that through their business dealings at the bus station, they had been threatened many times. As a matter of fact, Donna claimed that she had been robbed 3 weeks earlier.
Donna tells police that she knew the person who had robbed her, a former customer at her restaurant named Santiago.
She more or less explained to us that he was a casual acquaintance.
Donna tells police that one evening, not long before Robert's murder, Santiago had asked Donna to give him a ride home after the restaurant closed.
And the day that she had given him a ride, she had the receipts from the Warren bus station with her and a gun that Robert always had her carry when she was moving money. And she said she stopped at a convenience store to get cigarettes, and when she came out, Santiago, the money, and the gun were gone. She immediately filed a police report with the Warren Police Department about the incident.
Donna says she hadn't thought much about the incident since the day it happened, but now that Robert was dead, she can't help but wonder, had Santiago returned to steal her husband's car and taken his life in the process?
So the question then becomes, could Robert have been killed with the same gun that was stolen from Donna's car?
Coming up, investigators discover an alarming secret in their victim's past.
If they ever got sued, he didn't want them to be able to go after their personal assets.
This put a high price on this murder.
But a shocking twist suggests a second suspect.
Why does this lady have 150 letters from some guy in prison?
"24 hours after Robert Fingerhut is found dead in his home, police are on the hunt for a person of interest named Santiago, whom Robert's widow Donna claims stole a gun from her weeks before her husband was killed.
Eventually, we found Santiago. We stopped at his place of work, and we asked him if he could come in and talk to us about the incident involving Donna Roberts.
Santiago admits that Donna had given him a ride on the night of November 20th, 2001, though he denies Donna's accusation that he'd stolen her money and gun. Santiago also describes his relationship with Donna in different terms than she'd portrayed to police.
Santiago explained to us that Donna Roberts and he had a sexual relationship. He'd been to her house several times.
He said, you know, she's picked me up multiple times, taken him to her house. She's asking him to have sex with her, and he didn't want to.
He was always paranoid when he was there that her husband was going to come home, and eventually he quit seeing her.
Santiago claims that Donna didn't handle the rejection well.
He told us that she came to his place of business and created a scene in front of his boss and all the employees, screaming and shouting about how he had stolen her money and her gun. He told us that she gave him $320 in cash, and she said he didn't have to pay it back. And he didn't know anything about the gun. He has no gun. He didn't take any gun. But we asked him if he'd take a polygraph, and he did well on the polygraph.
The polygraph results, combined with the revelation that Donna had an extramarital affair, leads detectives to consider the widow in a more suspicious light. They dig deeper into Donna and Robert's home life and discover that Santiago wasn't the only man Donna had been suspected of sleeping with behind her husband's back.
One of the things we found out during our investigation, and this is coming back from employees at the bus terminal and people that were around Donna, that she was meeting a lot of different guys, kind of right under Robert's nose, and she was having an affair with multiple people.
A couple of the bus drivers came to me and I seen her at the bar last night, Mel, what's going on with her? And they were, when you gonna get your turn? I said, oh, don't put me in that, I'm not in that mess. On my birthday, I was working. She walks in, she said, I have $20 for you to buy what you want for a lunch, or you can receive a particular sexual favor. I was like, excuse me? She says, right now, behind the platform. You know, and I said, you gotta be kidding me. I said, I'll take the money.
Despite Donna's infidelity, there seems to be ample evidence that she and Robert were still quite loving toward one another.
He appeared to be good to her. I never seen him in any negative type situation. And I was around him quite often. It was always, Robert, honey, you know, terms of endearment and all that. You'd think that they were so much in love.
But digging into Donna and Robert's public records, detectives discover something surprising about their marriage.
The startling fact came out. The Fingerhuts had been divorced for 15 years.
To better understand the inner workings of Robert and Donna's relationship, detectives asked Donna to come back to the station for another interview.
Donna explained to us their situation. She said that they got married in 1983. They were married for 3 years, I believe. And then they got a divorce on paper because Robert was concerned that if they ever got sued through their businesses, he didn't want them to be able to go after their personal assets. So everything was put into her name.
He had previous legal issues with the IRS. And so because of that, they got divorced and wanted to keep things separate, hers and his, and made sure he had very little of his that would have legal ramifications.
When police asked Donna about the numerous allegations of infidelity, she doesn't deny them.
She said they had an open relationship. She said she could date people if she wanted to date him, and he could date people if he wanted to.
It was okay by him as long as there was not a lot of emotional involvement. Couldn't say I love you. You couldn't get that attached.
Donna tells police she didn't know much about her husband's lovers, but she knew that not all of them had been women.
Another story Donna put out there is that Robert was bisexual. It's something that we have to look into and try to find out, is there something we're missing here?
According to Donna, Robert's most recent lover had been a man named Bobby, and their relationship seemed to have fallen apart just a few days before the murder.
Donna claims that Bobby would call the house a couple of times a week and then recently had stopped calling, which she thought seemed strange. So she speculated that maybe they had broken up.
Had Robert been killed by his spurned lover? Donna certainly thought it was a possibility.
She told me, she said that the person who did murder Robert. They were having an affair. She said Robert was gay, Melvin Robert, he was gay.
She didn't have a last name. She said he called all the time, but she couldn't give us a phone number.
Using the description provided by Donna, police issue a bolo for the mysterious Bobby. But before they can track the man down, they get word of a new development in the case. Robert's missing silver Chrysler 300 has been found.
And it was called in by a guy who lived near where the car was parked, and he told police that he noticed the car parked there around midnight on the night of the murder.
We found blood on the outside of the car. We found blood on the visor inside the car. We found blood on the headlight switch in the car.
Police collect samples of the blood for DNA testing. While they await the results, they get a call from CSIs who are still processing the crime scene at Robert and Donna's house. An investigator there has just made an interesting discovery in Donna's car.
They found a brown paper bag in the trunk. And the brown paper bag had a very unique 6 numbers to it. It was 3 numbers with a hyphen and 3 more numbers. And Frank and Paul recognized right away that that appeared to be a prisoner number.
Inside the bag, investigators find something even more surprising.
We found 147 letters coming from a correctional facility inside of Ohio.
They were letters that came from the Ohio Correctional Institution, from a person named Nathaniel Jackson. Why does this lady have 150 letters from some guy in prison?
Coming up, detectives try to learn more about Donna's mysterious prison pen pal and determine the true nature of his relationship with Donna Roberts.
Hey, I'm not a girl or child, I'm a woman. I'm not drinking.
Days after the murder of Robert Fingerhut, detectives discover a trove of correspondence between his widow, Donna Roberts, and an inmate at an Ohio State penitentiary named Nate Jackson.
We recovered 150 plus letters from Donna Roberts to Nate Jackson.
Nate had originally been sent to prison for a period of time, was released early from prison through a shock probation program. And it was during that time he came back from Lorraine Correctional Institution by bus, Greyhound, and met Donna, who was running the restaurant. And we think that's how their relationship began.
Donna was 57 years old, and Nate Jackson was 29 years old. And he showed her so much love and attention. Nate did pay her a lot of compliments in these letters, said he wanted to be with her forever, that she was the one for him.
There was a lot of explicit sexual discussions between Nate Jackson and Donna Roberts.
We wanted to check into who Nate Jackson was. We found that Nate had one child, had a minimal relationship with the mother of that child. Didn't really find that Nate had worked any place.
For a guy who was pushing 30 years old, he had been in trouble almost the minute he hit adulthood. He had a record as a juvenile. He was one of those guys doing life, 12 to 18 months at a time.
Despite Nate's criminal background, something clearly clicked between Donna and Nate. In fact, the connection between them was so strong, they remained in close contact even after Nate was arrested in the fall of 2000 on theft-related charges and sent back to prison for 1 year.
There was this attraction between her and Nate. It seemed to be something that she really thrived off of, her ego thrived off of, that this younger man was doting on and found her very, very attractive and really, paid a lot of attention to her, which may have been something that she felt she needed or was lacking in her current relationship.
But what had attracted Nate to a woman nearly twice his age? From their letters, it's clear that Donna had showered her younger lover with gifts before he was sent back to prison.
He'd be just like me and you one day, and seen him a couple weeks later, and his wardrobe had improved dramatically. People were telling me that they seen him driving her car, and how do you go from catching the bus every day to driving a brand new 300 Chrysler?
Donna's letters had promised Nate more gifts after he got out, and in the days leading up to Nate's release, Donna wrote a series of letters to him in which she asked him to deliver a mysterious package for her.
The letters were not one paragraph. They were 3 and 4 pages of narrow-spaced writing. Many of them were really innocuous. They didn't discuss much at all. But as we started reading through the letters, we started seeing references to delivery and package. In the letters, they discussed things like needing handcuffs. They discussed things like getting the gloves. One of the letters, Nate had actually drawn a little tombstone and had written across where the RIP for rest in peace in, he had actually written rest in piss. But delivery and package were the 2 things that I remember the most. And I remember dawning on me that package was their code word for Robert, that they were going to take care of the package.
There were innuendos throughout the letters of how they were going to get together the day he got out, and how that within days that they weren't going to have to worry about Robert anymore. He wasn't going to be in the picture.
This shocking theory gains more traction when investigators discover that Nate Jackson had been released from prison just 1 day before Robert Fingerhut's murder.
Donna traveled up and picked him up at Larian Correctional Institution.
We tracked through a credit card to Donna Roberts that she had rented a room at the Days Inn for a week. We had gone to that hotel, spoke with the manager.
The night clerk, he explained to us that he remembered the woman that rented the room, that she came in. She said she wanted the room for a week, presented her credit card.
Suspecting that Donna might have rented the room as a place for Nate to hide out before and after the murder, police asked the hotel manager for permission to search the room.
We spoke with the cleaning person. We asked her where all the debris from that room went, and she indicated that there was some bloody dressings that she had thrown out in the dumpster. Detective Dillon and I walked out the dumpster. I went in and recovered this bag that had the bandages in it, and we found what appeared to be blood. And ultimately, we sent that stuff to the lab.
While they wait for the lab results, police decide it's time to finally confront Donna about her relationship with Nate Jackson. At first, Donna denies knowing him.
During the interviews, we're finding that she's having these sexual relationships with multiple men. And we ask her, is there anybody else that you may have forgot about? And she said, no, there's nobody else. And the very next question is, well, what about this Nate Jackson? I said, oh yeah, I forgot about Nate. And suddenly, like it never happened and she had forgot all about it, she starts remembering, oh yeah, I did have sex with him. I was writing him letters. But you had to pry all these things out.
Donna eventually admits that she had been seeing Nate for 2 years, and that when he went to serve time for this theft conviction for a year, they had correspondence over the phone and through these letters.
Donna's admission that she and Nate had communicated via the prison telephone system gives detectives another opening. They conclude the interview and contact the prison to see if the calls had been recorded.
The prison tells me that during this 90-day window, there's 19 phone calls. And he said, I've had them copy them. I'm bringing it to you.
We plugged one into a cassette recorder, turned it on, and as luck would have it, this turned out to be a very good tape.
You're supposed to be together, Donna.
I don't think so, honey.
Why don't you?
Because we'd have to do something terrible to do it.
Some things just have to be done. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to get what we want.
They're basically planning a murder on prison-recorded phone calls.
Baby, it ain't gonna happen in the house, and I promise you.
And all of a sudden, Nate's voice changes, and he starts to become very serious.
It's considered a done deal. Only thing I'm gonna need is one thing.
What?
I just need to be in the house when you come home.
Nate doesn't want to remain in prison, so he figures the best way to get out of the cycle is to kill somebody, take over as the suitor for Donna, and live the lifestyle there. He wants her to buy him a Cadillac after this happens. He was going to get out and he was going to do it because no one would ever think that an inmate that just got out of prison killed somebody the very next day.
The recorded phone calls are enough evidence to charge Donna Roberts and Nate Jackson with murder.
We knew that some of our evidence directly tied her to this homicide, and hands down, we knew we had to get her off the streets now.
They stormed the house. She's a 50-year-old woman. All they had to do was knock on the door and she'll answer it. And you could have just handcuffed her, but they stormed her like she was Saddam Hussein.
Police arrested Donna at her home on the night of December 20th.
After arresting Donna, police get a tip that Nate Jackson is hiding out at a friend's house.
We called a SWAT team in, got on a PA system, announced our presence. We lit the whole house up with spotlights. Nate came out with his hands in the air, as asked to do. The one thing that was just extremely noticeable was a huge bandage on his left index finger.
Now in custody, Donna Roberts refuses to speak without an attorney present. But Nate Jackson waives his rights and presents a surprising defense of his role in Robert Fingerhut's death.
Any questions regarding your rights?
I just didn't mean to do it, man.
Okay.
Did, man. I'm sorry I did it, man. I'm sorry, man.
He explained he had spent the day with Donna at the bus station. When they left the bus station, they went to dinner, and then he said that Donna dropped him off at his friend's house. He said he walked from the house to the bus station.
According to Nate, he hadn't been at the bus station long when he was approached by Robert Fingerhut. Robert had known Nate as one of Donna's friends, and Nate claims that Robert surprised him with an unexpected request.
He says Robert asked him for some marijuana.
Nate says Robert must have learned he sometimes dealt pot on the side. He told Robert he had a small amount of marijuana that he could sell, and they made plans to go to Robert's house where they could do the deal.
Robert drove him back to the house, but then when they got there, there was a confrontation between the two where Nate told police he felt like he was disrespected, and things escalated from there.
Telling me, you black guys the same, this and that, y'all don't want to do nothing for yourself,
Robert started getting indignant with him and eventually pulled a gun out on him. And Nate felt his life was in danger.
Nate claims that before he could escape, Robert pulled the trigger.
At some point, as Mr. Fingerhut moved in to attack Nate Jackson, he hit Nate Jackson's left finger.
Wow, man, you know what I'm saying? He squeezed on me, man.
Nate tells police he attempted to wrestle the gun away from Robert before he could fire another shot.
He was fighting for his life, took the gun away from him, and shot Robert a couple of times.
Nate claimed that he was scared and frightened after everything that happened. He ran to Robert's car, drove away, and then as he was driving, tossed the gun out the window.
Prosecutors, however, aren't buying Nate Jackson's version of events. For one thing, why would Robert, without any provocation, pull a gun on Nate and shoot him in the finger? Police are also unable to get a single straight answer from Nate regarding the details of the shooting.
Where'd the gun come from?
Man, I don't know, man.
Did you see a gun laying around in there when you walked in?
I ain't seen no gun, man. You know what I'm saying?
What'd the gun look like? Describe it.
Huh?
Describe the gun.
Man, it was just, man, it was a shiny gun, man.
Adding to the evidence are the recorded jail conversations where Nate and Donna discuss getting rid of Robert and making a future together.
These recorded phone calls between Donna and Nate at the jail detail this plan to kill Robert Fingerhut. And it's really unusual for police to have such direct evidence detailing the plot of a murder.
Coming up, Nate and Donna both face trial for murder. But an unusual move by Donna throws the proceedings into upheaval.
You're bound by law to give me one sentence. The death penalty. You have no other choice.
December 2001. Donna Roberts and Nate Jackson have been indicted for the first-degree murder of Donna's husband, Robert Fingerhut. Both face the death penalty if convicted. Nate is the first to stand trial in the fall of 2002.
Prosecutors think one of the motives in killing Robert Fingerhut was to get the life insurance policies, and there were 2 policies totaling $500,000, and Nate and Donna planned to use that money to go start their life together.
The plan was Nate would kidnap at gunpoint using one of the guns that Donna had provided him, kidnap Robert Fingerhut back from his home to a location in Youngstown in his own car. Nate would have Mr. Fingerhut drive his own car. Nate would execute him or kill him somewhere in Youngstown, and it'd just be another dead body in Youngstown. Nobody knows how it happened, and now we can collect the life insurance policy.
Using the couple's recorded prison conversations and witness statements, prosecutors put together a timeline of Nate and Donna's movements in the 24 hours prior to Robert's murder.
Donna went to the Lorain County Correctional Institution to pick him up, and then came back to the Youngstown area and took him to the hotel.
They had actually wanted to commit the murder as soon as he got out of prison, but it was more important for them to at least get together that night and have sexual relations first.
Nate spent the day with my mom at the bus station in Warren. They went to dinner.
Donna provided him a gun, took Nate back to the house after dinner.
When Robert arrived home from work an hour later, Donna was gone, and Nate Jackson was lying in wait.
Robert did his usual routine, put down his keys, put down his mug, went to the kitchen table. He's now looking into the living room, which is darkness, and Nate was probably standing there.
But when Robert flipped on the lights and saw Nate Jackson pointing a gun at him, Nate's plans hit a snag.
A struggle ensued in the house, and it's pretty clear what happened because DNA evidence and the physical evidence all supported this.
Apparently in the struggle, Nate blew off part of his fingertip, blew his DNA everywhere.
Despite shooting himself in the finger, Nate was able to regain control of the situation and shot Robert Fingerhut 3 times.
They now have a dead body in a house.
We know there were phone calls made from Nate to Donna indicating that the plan that they had put into place didn't go as they wanted it to, and Nate then fled the scene in Robert Fingerhut's vehicle.
Nate Jackson is found guilty of aggravated murder and given the harshest sentence possible.
Therefore, be sentenced to death on December 10, 2003.
Nate had gotten the death penalty.
Donna's trial begins 6 months later. Once again, the state's evidence is overwhelming.
I had copies of the letters that I put up for the jury, snippets of those phone calls. They had all of the planning basically recorded or in written form. The only thing they didn't do was, I guess they could have recorded the actual homicide for us.
Donna's defense attorney tries to argue that Nate Jackson committed the murder of his own volition. But the evidence against her is too much, and the jury finds Donna Roberts guilty of murder. But Donna stuns everyone at her sentencing hearing when she asks the jury to give her the death penalty.
I'm going to take the pressure off you and on Judge Stewart. You're bound by law to give me one sentence. The death penalty. You have no other choice.
She got up and told the jury she wanted the death penalty, she deserved it. Ohio, when you are convicted of a death penalty crime, you're basically put on death row. It's outside a general population. You don't have to deal with the other prisoners.
But there's also reasoning for that too, because you have, a little bit more appellate rights. You have a little bit more attention. And also, when you're in prison versus if you're in general population for life, you're one of many, versus if you're on death row, now you're the only one and you're secluded and you're safer.
She wanted the penthouse suite on being Ohio's only female on death row.
Donna gets what she wants on June 21st, 2003.
We therefore find and recommend that the sentence of death.
She is not a monster. My mom never physically did anything. In fact, if you read the letters, listen to the transcripts, and to this day, Nate himself, nearly 20 years later almost, still says he did it on his own. She never committed the physical act, yet she's on death row.
If you don't love your significant other, if the thought of them, makes your stomach turn, just divorce them, leave them. Here are 3 people that could have all gone their separate ways and probably still be alive to this day, living their lives.
For more information, go to oxygen.com.